Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today I come with a bit of a public service announcement, I guess, regarding Tokyo Marui short Type 89 mags. Now, anyone that is familiar with the MWS and the Type 89 system know that they have interchangeable magazines, and I happen to have 3 of the shorter style magazines. And I'm just going to explain very briefly, firstly, why I don't think these are worth purchasing and you should save your money. I've got 2 of those short Type 89s, and also I've got a short just MWS magazine. And I also don't think you should purchase this either, other than for the look. If you're running a DMR or something like that, then these seem really appealing. They look very cool. They look very different in your gun, but and these ones do actually function perfectly well. However, these ones actually have a functionality issue to do with the width of the mag lips. And I'm going to show that to you and explain why. I hate to say it, but like TM messed up here. Like they got something wrong, and I really don't understand why they would have done it, because it's completely avoidable and completely unnecessary. All I can think or hope is that it's a bad batch, but from me to you, avoid the short Type 89 magazines. We're going to go into this now. Let's dig in a bit more detail as to why I'm saying this. So first off, let's talk about the magazines that do work, that do feed. This is obviously a short MWS mag. I still don't recommend these, because whatever M4 pouch you're using, these tend to get lost in them. So I've got on my main plate carrier, I've got a triple shingle at the front, and these get lost in it. It's really hard, especially if there are 3 magazines in there. It's really hard to get your fingers in and get them out. Same again with the Blue Force gear, which I've got on the side of this particular plate carrier, and on my Ferro Concepts, these side pouches, they can also take the mags a little bit easier because you can poke them up from the bottom, but ultimately they're not as easy to grab as something like a Stanag or a PMag or something like that. So I kind of don't recommend the short mags other than for the look. Now let's get into like the real main issue that I have, and that is to do with the actual functionality on these Type 89 mags. These can potentially break your gun, and they can break your nozzle. Like, TM really dropped the ball on this. So I know one other person that has, well, I know 2 other people that have already also had this same problem, and one person's actually, we've been having a conversation, and he measured the lips and said there's actually a slight difference in the width of the lips. And let me just show you what that translates to. So I'm going to put some glasses on, although you'll see in a moment that they're not needed. And ultimately, you know, this isn't a smart thing to do. Like, actually, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, with what I'm doing here, but you'll see what happens. So this is a Type 89 mag. It's full to the top, and all of these magazines are completely full to the top, so it shouldn't be any different. Now, when I drop the bolt, it hasn't gone into battery. That gap basically means I've now got a frozen magazine release. I'm pressing that as hard as I can. Nothing is happening. I can press it in really hard and just about get the mag out. It also did not load a BB. You can see in there that the breech is empty. So that was the first magazine. Let's get the second one. So I can put it in and it clicks into the gun. And again, we haven't actually loaded the round. So hold the bolt back, and hopefully you can see in there. See, just where my finger is there, it's actually dark. If it had loaded the BB, you'd be able to see it. Now, this is the MWS short type magazine. Let's put that in, give it the same conditions, drop the bolt, loads the round. Okay, So I'll take this out, pull the charging handle back, and hopefully you can see in there is actually, instead of a dark hole, there's a white BB just in there. So I'll discharge that round, get rid of that. So I've not done anything differently on these magazines, but these ones, the Type 89 short magazines, you can tell because they've got a slightly different finish. So they've got a slightly shinier, not the Cerakote darkened finish. So just to, I know you guys know, I don't lie to you guys. There's no point. Like, this channel is all about sharing information and helping each other out. And you know what? I don't really have a social media presence. So if anyone wants to like share this video to help other people, please do so, because you know, this, you're going to waste money on the magazine. You're also going to waste money buying new nozzles when they're breaking. I mean, I'm doing this as an example. I'm damaging my nozzle each time that I do this, but it's so that you guys don't have to, and so you don't waste your money. So that so that is completely, you know, I'm sure someone could say, look, maybe you're putting in 21 rounds and it's only supposed to be 20. Like, I'm packing this one as tight as it will go. I cannot fit one more BB in there. Let's get this. Let's just knock, that didn't put one more in there, by the way. Let's just knock one off the top of this Type 89 mag, and let's get this other one, and we'll knock one off the top of there as well. So I've got my two Type 89 mags, and so the two Type 89s, I've knocked one round off the top of each. This one still completely full. Let's go again, guys, and let's see what it's going to do. Pardon me. Right, let's give it the best possible chance. No, it's done it again. It bolt didn't go into battery, and if I flick it around, you can see. Oh, sorry, you've got the dark hole there. Didn't load the round. Let's try the second mag. Do the same thing. Didn't load it. That's a big problem. So that is a huge problem. So both of these Type 89 mags, put one in, drop the bolt. No, nothing. And so you can see, there you go. It's just not doing it. Let's I'll tell you what. Let's knock a couple more rounds off. So let's take one round, two rounds, two more rounds off that one. Take two more rounds off this one. One round, two round. Let's give it another go. So bolts held back. This is unacceptable. Like, so maybe you're thinking, oh, but maybe there's a slightly different design, like these are designed for the Type 89. You know what? This is, it doesn't work on these either. Someone did say that you can put a piece of tape on the inside of here and it helps to improve it. But as far as I'm concerned, they should just, you know, they should just work. It may actually work on this Type 89 because my nozzle is so twisted up that it may actually work, but we'll find out. Yeah, that has loaded around. Or has it, actually? Tell you what, one way to find out. No, no round loaded. Let's just try that again. Let's so I'm gonna just shoot this off camera. So that first round it hadn't loaded, but after that it has shot. There you go. Gun clear. Right, so that's the one I've shot a few rounds out of. This is the one that we've still only knocked a couple out of. And again, got an empty chamber, Type 89 mag. We've knocked about 4 rounds off here now. It's getting a little bit ridiculous, and you can see there is nothing in the chamber. Right, let's get the standard MWS, but short mag. Pop that in, drop the bolt. Ooh. Ooh. I've not usually had so many problems with this one. Let's just knock one round off the top. I may very well have now bent my loading nozzle doing all this. I mean, that's quite possible. Yeah, it's really not advisable. So, there you go, when you don't even try. There's no gas left in it anyway. This one's pretty much out. But this is just, yeah, just a warning to you guys. You can see what it was doing there. You can see that I'm dropping the bolt and it's not going forward. You know, obviously the Type 89, take that with a pinch of salt. I've actually got 2 nozzles on the way to me from Japan. So I got a notification from Impulse. I suggest if you ever need something from Impulse, you know, put your email in, and they'll send you an email when it's back in stock. So that's what I had. I just had an email popping up saying nozzles are back in stock. So hopefully I'll be able to repair that Type 89 completely very soon. But for the time being, I just want other people to know that, yeah, these short Type 89 mags definitely cause issues with your gun. So if you see them on sale and you're tempted to get them, bear in mind that, you know, you may need to buy separate mag lips in order to get them to work properly. So I'm quite lucky. I do actually have, I believe, some T8 mag lips. So I've got a couple of sets left. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'll probably do it in a separate video, or I don't know. But basically, swap the mag lips out on these. I've done videos about swapping mag lips, so you can check my archive. It was one of the first videos I did, actually, one of the first MWS videos that I ever did. But yeah, so I think the way forward is probably just going to be, rather than, I think you could probably file these out, but I don't really trust myself, not when it comes to that. I do have some spare mag lips. It's quite simple to do, so I'm going to be changing these both out. You know, I might think about doing these as well. But I'm going to go in and inspect my nozzle. I imagine the loading arm's probably got a little bit of a bend in it. This is all the more reason that, you know, you shouldn't really have a fully loaded magazine and insert it on a closed bolt. You know, it shouldn't really cause any damage, but it's one of those things that might. It's a bit like with an MP5, where if you've got a full magazine, you want to put, you know, have the bolt open, you put the magazine in, then you drop the bolt, boom, and it loads the round. And that's, you know, that's how the gun's kind of like designed to work. It's designed to be pulling forward and stripping that round out, not being pushed in with a full, maybe 36 rounds or whatever. You know, if your springs have stretched in your like standard magazines, you can sometimes get a little bit more in them. So I don't know, it's one for like, even if you're like understacking your Type 89 mags, it's not to do with like how many rounds you've loaded in it. It's just that there is a problem with the feed lips, and that needs to be corrected in order for the mags to work properly. Really unfortunate, really annoying, and one of those things that should just never have happened. And that's what's so frustrating when you get a manufacturer like Tokyo Marui, who are renowned for their high QC, for them to make this kind of error. Like, they've got loads of mag lips laying around that they know work perfectly well. How have they messed it up on these short Type 89 mags? Or what, you know, there is just something about them that is just not, they don't work properly. They don't work properly. Yeah, I'll try different mag lips in them. You know, I'm just thinking, like, if I put the magazine in and push it forward like this, let's see if that works. Yeah, that loads around. Let's eject that. Okay. Right, that's now full. Okay, so this, sorry that you have to like deal with my musings. So yeah, definitely does not work. Definitely isn't loading that round. Right, now let's put it in, and I'm pushing it that way. So I'm pushing it upwards. I'm pushing like that. Where's the problem? And that has loaded around. So the way that it naturally sits in the gun is not quite right. Maybe it's this very front part not sitting quite right, but there is something about them. Yeah, and you don't want to have to hold your magazine a certain way in order to get it to function. So okay, let's try the other way. I'm going to pull in the opposite direction. I'm going to pull down and backwards a little bit, and that's the way the kind of magazine naturally wants to sit. Yeah, that's the malfunction. And then hold it up and forward and it loads. Super annoying, like, isn't it? Ultimately my messaging is still the same. Like, don't buy these magazines, regardless of if you can get them to work. You don't want to be 80s style that is not what it's about, guys. So this one's doing it as well now. Yeah, I think I may have done something. Ah, yeah, no gas, idiot. All right, remember there's one in the chamber. Yeah, I feel like I really should have explained this as well. Just gonna load up this Type 89 mag. Like, everyone's been out in the field and they've heard someone with their gas gun. They go psh, and all squirts out. Like, that's why. Like, this whole thing here. That's why it's happening. So let me first put my goggles on. Right. One in the chamber. Right, clear chamber. We're all good. Type 89 mag, obviously. Put it in, leave it flat, we know what's going to happen. It doesn't work. Right, if you don't identify that that's what's happened, this is why this happens. Yeah? When you hear someone's gun do that, it's because it's not gone into battery. So next time your gun does that, like, that's, you know, that's why, that's what's going on. So, you know, identify it. Like, you should, I don't know, sometimes it just happens. Like, this is like how like a misfeed's going to happen or anything like that. We're not really talking about that at the moment. But if your nozzle doesn't, if it's sat there and you pull the trigger, that's why it goes and gases out. Like, that's why it's really important to like identify that things are working properly. Like, when you get your mag in, you drop the bolt and it sounds, you know, a lot of airsoft is like the sound of things. Like, I know that the bolt has gone into battery perfectly because I know what it sounds like, and that sounded like that. Whereas with some of the others, obviously I don't have, yeah, with that, for example, I can drop the bolt. It's really, that sounds different. Like that, I can tell just by the sound something's gone wrong there, and I know that if I pull the trigger, well, there's no gas in it now, but you know, it would have gassed out on me. So being able to like identify a lot of the problems that you're going to have through the sound that it makes is going to be something that's like, it's a bit of a skill, and it's something that you only learn from either going out on the field or practicing. So I suggest doing both of those things as much as you can. There you go. Like, we're learning together. I don't think you should have to. The other person said that they put some tape on the inside of their mag well, and that had kind of solved the issue. I'm going to try and do it with those mag lips, try and get that to work. I think that's going to be a better option. So I decided that I was just going to fit the mag lips. So I'm using these SunPower T8 mag lips, and I've put them into, as you can see, I've marked the mag so I know which ones got it. So again, both empty, both got a little bit of gas in. Let's load some BBs. Okay, and that's loaded all the way. And I'll do the same with this one. Okay, so both fully loaded. I'll put my glasses on, grab my rifle. Okay, so let's have a little look in here. Right, let's get the, this is the one that I'm not expecting to work. There you go. Whoop. All done. Didn't work. T8 has this fixed the Type 89 mag? No. Yeah. Let's try again. No. Let's strip a BB off if I can. Oh, I think we did manage to get into battery there. No, and then it's actually far enough back now that it won't even. Not good. So yeah, either way, doesn't matter if you replace the mag lips. I will probably swap those back over so I can keep those decent mag lips. Yeah, something about the short Type 89 mags, guys. There you go. So after thinking about it, this is now a day later, and I realised that maybe I wasn't entirely fair on that, because I took my bolt out, and as expected, there is actually now a slight upward bend to the end of this nozzle. So that's one of the reasons that it's catching and not feeding, because I've basically tried to feed through those Type 89 mags enough times now that this has now bent. So it's now more inclined to just not work. So that means it's really hard to tell if those T8 lips have actually done anything or if they've made any kind of an improvement. Luckily, the Mark 18 isn't my only MWS, so I do have other bolts. I've got a nozzle here to compare to. It is quite hard to see, but yeah, there is that almost seems to be going down in comparison to this one, which is definitely going that way. So all we're going to do here is I've got my DMR. So it's not a stock MWS bolt, but it is a stock nozzle. It's a stock TM nozzle we've got in there. So this is completely full, right up to the brim. Let's see if those T8 mag lips have at least allowed this to feed. Okay, yeah, that's that has indeed loaded the round. I'm just gonna get it out somewhere safe. Lovely. Okay, yeah, it appeared to load around there. So maybe, but I think the point here is it's not about like how to get these mags to work. It's just there are other options out there. There's no reason to buy these. They've damaged my nozzle. So don't buy them, and then your nozzle's not going to get damaged as well. So learn from me, learn from a guy that I will credit down in the comments below. I think he said that he'd measured the standard Marui mag lips, and they were 5.75 millimeters as the gap there. And he said on the mags that were malfunctioning, and he had 7 mags, 3 of which had problems, they were 5.53 millimeters. So that's quite a significant difference. So he said that he was probably going to file them down. I think, yeah, actually, from everything that I've learned so far making this video, and I'm kind of bringing to you guys, then I'd agree. I'm going to do that. It's over the Christmas period now, so I might take a couple of mags home with me and do a bit of filing and see what I can achieve. I don't have calipers, which is slightly annoying, so maybe that should be my next investment. Okay, anyway, just take this lesson of, yeah, just Type 89 mags, just don't bother. On with the rest of the video. Maybe it's just because of the shape of the mag and the way that it kind of, because this has got a forward sweep, maybe it's kind of pulling forward a tiny bit more, like as it's hanging. And this one's, if I was to grab it in the same spot, I don't know. Who knows? Sorry, you shouldn't have to listen to this. Thanks for spending your time with me, guys. Yeah, hopefully you found this useful. Just don't buy short mags. It's just not worth it. You might as well, like, for the extra like height and weight difference, just maximise the amount of BBs that you can carry. That's my advice. Anyway, guys, take care.